No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey.
Mike.
Are you okay? Your PI couldn't reach you, so he called me. What's going on?
His house. I knocked. But it wasn't him, Mike. It wasn't Jack. He's not here.
Mrs. Snyder here? Really sorry that lead didn't pan out.
I want to know why you let her knock on some stranger's door without checking it out first. Huh? God only knows what could have happened.
No, Mike, don't blame him. He tried to talk me out of it, and I wouldn't listen. I was so sure that Jack was at that house.
Don't you worry, Mrs. Snyder. If your husband's out there, I'll find him.
Well, good. There's still that woman that I met at the water park. The one who has a son about Parker's age.
I searched the database for that area. Remember, the only match was the house you visited tonight.
That wasn't exactly a match, was it? We can keep searching, right? You can search nearby towns.
What? And enter what? I mean, we've got to narrow it down to something more than mother whose son's initials are JJ.
I know. I'm just so desperate. I keep thinking now that I'm seeing Jack around every corner. I just so wanted him to be with that mother and son that we saw. If I could just find that woman, if I could talk to her.
Let's assume that that part worker did see your husband with those two people. Why do you think your husband might have been with a mother and a son?
I don't think I like what you're implying.
I'm not implying anything. It's just I've seen a lot of cases where everybody thinks the husband's the greatest guy in the world.
You believe that my husband left me for another woman?
When I take an assignment, it's my job to consider all the possibilities.
Well, I've got another assignment for you, Mr. Everhart. There's the door. Use it and get the hell out of my house. What you don't know, Mr. Everhart, is that Jack and I fought harder just to be together than any two people should have to. And we made it.
Well, I didn't mean to say that...
I'm not finished. I watched that man become the most loving, dedicated father I have ever seen. He loved Parker like he was his own flesh and blood. He welcomed Sage when he wasn't even sure he ought to, and he never stopped loving me, even though I gave him 100 infuriating reasons. Jack Snyder made me happier than I ever thought I had the right to be. So don't you dare stand there and tell me I don't know my husband.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Snyder. You let me know how you want to proceed.
Look, you're right. You know Jack loved you more than his own life. And if he's out there, he will find his way back to you.
If he's out there. I've got a little boy upstairs who's completely convinced that Jack is alive. I met a woman who thinks that she might have seen him in a crowd of hundreds of people. And that's it. That's all the proof that I have that my husband is alive.
Maybe that's all you need.
I just don't know what's what anymore. I want Parker to be right. I want that woman at the water park to have seen Jack. I want it so bad I can barely breathe. That's why I was so sure that Jack was going to be at that house tonight. I was so sure that he'd be standing there and I would leap into his arms and this whole nightmare would be over. What do you think? You think I'm crazy? Think I'm living in denial? Do you think the reason Jack hasn't come home is because he's really gone?
I don't think you're crazy, Carly. You know, when you love somebody, you keep looking. keep hoping. Not just in the world, but in here. You are not crazy. You love him.
And Parker's such a little boy. If he keeps spending all of his time thinking that Jack is going to walk through that door, how is he ever going to heal? How long do I let him keep hoping for something that probably won't happen?
On the other hand, maybe that hope's the only thing that keeps him going. Do you just snatch that away? I don't have the answers. All I know is that you usually have good instincts. What are they telling you now?
I don't know. I do not know anymore. You should go home. You don't have to stay here and watch over me.
No, I don't mind staying, not if you need me.
You're a good friend. I'm okay.
Huh? You call me if you need anything.
Yeah, I will.